Morning peeps, good morning everyone. How's everyone doing? Hopefully you guys are all doing well. Don't forget, if you're new to the channel, like, share, subscribe. All right, before we talk Benavidez and that performance, wow. As I was watching that fight, I was like, oh my God, he's a monster. I didn't realize his nickname was the Monster. When you think of that nickname, you associate it with Inoue. But it's a nickname fully deserving of what Benavidez is and what he does. I think he's frightening, I really do. But look, we'll talk about that in a sec. I do want to start the show by saying thank you for all the feedback, all the comments. I've read them all. I think I've responded to a lot of them regarding the Ade and G-Man show, Ade and G-Man podcast. I don't know what to call it yet. Feel free, if you have a good name, leave it in the comment section. I could call it what you call it. But yeah, thank you so much. Obviously, look, me and G-Man have sat down before, but it's not been a regular thing. It's been like once or twice a year. A lot of you guys have asked it to be a regular thing, so it is now a regular thing. So the shows will be every single Friday. Me and G-Man will try our best to be as honest and just give you what we can give you when it comes to the sport of boxing. See it every Friday. Ade and G-Man will be a thing going forward. Obviously, we won't be able to film when I'm out of the country. So I think that's in a couple of weeks' time for the Saudi Arabia card. But apart from that, we will film every single Friday. You know what it was? I've always wanted to do this with G-Man, but I just wanted to make sure the setup was good. I'm a sucker for making things look half decent. That was actually filmed in my front room. So I know a lot of you think it's a studio. It's not, it's actually my front room. I've got so many more things planned as well. I don't want to tell you what they are yet. I prefer just to do them. You guys see them and you guys, like you always will, give me your feedback. But yeah, enough of that. The next one will be this Friday. Enjoy it as well. 45 minutes to an hour of me and G-Man talking boxing. All right, let's talk David Benavidez and that victory over David Morel. Wow. When this fight was announced, look, I've been saying for a long time, that this fight was the fight of 2025 so far. So that's me putting it above, in terms of intrigue and interest, above BETERBIEV BIVOL, above Dubois Parker, above anything that's been announced. And it delivered. It delivered. It was a showcase event for Benavidez. Is he going to be that next star? We'll get to that in a second. But how will he handle someone that isn't afraid, someone that's going to come and try and beat him up? Because I do feel like the other fighters have gone in, not necessarily to lose, but he's been a big favorite in a lot of those fights. He was a favorite in this fight, but a lot of boxing people were giving Morel a very good chance, including myself. Benavidez is good, you know. Benavidez is good. He doesn't look fast, but he has fast hands. Like, he doesn't look like he can do all the things he can do. It looks like the kind of guy that will just wear you down, but he does so much more than that. His hand speed is good. His punch power is good. His punch selection is good. When he's on the ropes, because Morel had opportunities. Morel actually had some very good rounds. When he's on the ropes and Morel's working away, and Morel's a big puncher, when they slow it down, in real speed, it looks like Morel's getting through. You think, oh my God, Morel's having success here. But when they slow it down, he's taking a lot of shots on the arms. He's evading a lot of shots. And then he's counter punching off the ropes. So this guy's a counter puncher as well. He's big at the weight. He's strong. He has super confidence. He can go to the body. I think they showed the body stats. He went to the body more than Morel did, and Morel's a good body puncher. Dude, that was no slouch in front of him. Honestly, Morel, I think, would beat 95% of the other light heavyweights in the world, and he won that. I wouldn't say comfortably, but he won that going away. He won that going away, and even when he was knocked down, and it was a flash knockdown. It was like a counter hook shot, wasn't it, for Morel, when Benavidez almost tripped into it. He was so pissed off. He was on the front foot as soon as he got up. It was a bit like when Fury got knocked down by Wilder in their first fight, and Fury, I thought, won the round. Obviously, Morel got a point deducted for hitting him after the bell, but I think regardless of that, Benavidez might have won that round, or at least tied the round, because he came back so strong. Man, he's a bit of a problem. Honestly, he's a problem. You can understand in watching that why Canelo's or Canelo's advisors don't want that fight. There's something about me that will say Canelo will fight anyone, but when you watch that, you're like, it's a bit of a problem for Canelo. All the things I listed are good. His work rate might be the biggest thing. Like, he punches in bunches. He seems to work every single round. 168 was killing him. I think 175's almost giving him that new energy. So the championship rounds, he's still going to work. Good luck. Honestly, good luck fighting him. And by the way, I mean, I say all this, Morel was fantastic. Morel just maybe lacked a bit of experience. This was Morel's really big first standout show, whereas for Benavidez, he's had a few big fights. So, yeah, man, what I would like, I'd love to see what the numbers were. Just because I think there's a star there. I really do. I think this is someone that can carry the flag of American boxing for the next few years. I think he's got that. The Mexican Americans are behind him. Your average boxing fans behind him. He sold it well, right? I mean, this fight was sold so well. Like, I remember when he did the face-off, Ariel Helwani did, and he just sold that. He was like really lucky that face-off wasn't face-to-face, by the way, but he sold the fight well. He did the rounds when it came to the press. He understands what it is now to be a superstar in the sport of boxing, and he seems to want all of it. And you got to like it. You got to like it. Remember, he had his issues outside the ring a few years ago. Those have all sorted now. Those have all been sorted. This guy's a superstar. He's a superstar that talks well and delivers in the ring. He delivers. That guy gives you value for money. He's action. He's action all the way. So look, I'm a big fan. There's no doubt in my mind, if given the right fights and people don't avoid him, he's a pound for pounder in the next 12 months. Like guaranteed. As I was watching that fight, obviously Beterbiev's the one. I was thinking, like, how does he kind of get through Beterbiev? And what he does do is that, again, he's got good feet, but he will stand there and trade with Beterbiev when needs to be, which could be very dangerous, but he will do that. But the one that really intrigues me is BIVOL. Like, BIVOL really intrigues me because BIVOL's feet are so good and his punch power is, I think, underrated. I like that matchup, but I think, look, the winner of that is just... The winner of BIVOL Beterbiev versus Benavidez is... I mean, I said Morel Benavidez was the fight of 2025. The winner of BIVOL Beterbiev versus Benavidez is superb. Honestly, it's superb. I think we know that Turkey can deliver anything right now. So, yeah, I look forward to that one. As for David Morel, like I said, I think he beats 95% of the light heavyweights around the world. And I include all the light heavyweights in Britain as well. I do. I think there was a gap. For a lot of them to almost be the guys that contend for the belts. And I'm talking about the Brits. Unfortunately, Benavidez and Morel have jumped up to this weight class and they're a big problem for all of them. Big problem for Buatsi, Yard, Smith, whoever. They're a problem because they're as big, they're strong. They've got fantastic boxing IQ. And they're both very, very confident. Like, it was interesting to hear from Morel after the fight. When a fighter loses their O like that, and it wasn't a beating, he done well in that fight, you wonder if it's going to affect them. And he looked like someone that's like, okay, cool. You know, I know what I did wrong. I lack maybe a bit here, a bit there. We'll go back to the lab and we'll get shit sorted. That's kind of what I felt. And he's got a really good trainer as well in Ronnie Shields, right? So, yeah, very impressed. Honestly, very, very impressed with both. But obviously super impressed with Benavidez. I mean, he's getting some names on that resume now. Let me bring up. Obviously, there's Caleb Plant. There's Demetrius Andrade. Who else is on there? Let's have a look. There's now David Morel. Do you know what I mean? There's Vosdik. Solid. 30-0, 24 knockouts. That's beautiful. David Lemieux. So that's kind of when it really started. Anthony Durrell was a good one. Jalen Love. But it really started, I think, with the David Lemieux. This run here of David Lemieux, Caleb Plant, Demetrius Andrade, Vosdik, Morel is solid. So, yeah, I really look forward to seeing what he does. He's fought now. This is what? When did he fight? Yesterday. So Feb 1st. I mean, hopefully we get 2 more. There should be no reason, unless, you know, he picks up an injury, there should be no reason why we don't see him in the summer and then the back end of 2025. And that back end of 2025 should be the winner of Beterbiev Bivol. It should be the winner of Beterbiev Bivol. Unless Bivol beats Beterbiev and then you run that back for a trilogy. If not, he should be fighting the winner of Beterbiev Bivol. And I think that might be Beterbiev. All right, let's have a look and see what else there is. Next level, Adam Azim ready for leading lights at 140 pounds. Adam Azim coming off a good win against Lipinets to win the IBO super lightweight title. I don't know how many people put stock into that being a real world title. But regardless, Adam Azim's performance was good. Apart from the low blows, which were low. So I was going to try and sort of stick up for him and say they were border. They were low. Apart from that, he's good. And I love the way they're matchmaking him. These are really good opponents, really good seasoned opponents that he's fighting. Ahara Davis last time, Lipinets this time. You kind of get that experience of being in there with people that have been in there, good fighters. And the way in which he's dominating these fighters, these veterans, if you like, is really impressive. So I love what they're doing. He's only 22. The problem is they are going to get to a stage where the next step is the top 15 in the world. And once you're in that, there is no going back. And you can't say, oh, he's only 22. No, once you step to that top 15, you're in the top 15. And then it's quite frightening. Like, you know, let me quickly bring up, I'm going to read out some names for you in that top 15 very quickly. One sec. Let me go into Mark's Rack. All right, so these are the names, yeah? Devin Haney, Teofimo Lopez, Jack Cattrall, Sabril Matias, Richardson Hitchens, Liam Parrow. Just going to read out some ones that you guys might know. Arnold Barboza Jr., Jose Ramirez, Ernesto Machado, Dalton Smith, interesting. Jose Valenzuela is in it as well. I mean, come on, Josh Taylor's there. Isaac Pitbull Cruz, Oscar Duarte, Regis Prograis, Gary Antoine Russell. You know what I'm saying? So I think I read out, 12, 13 names there. Once you go into that, you're in that. Obviously, the one that we want to see over here, the one that I want to see is Dalton Smith. And, I can't stand when people say, oh, let them both get world titles. So who's sure about that? Who's got a crystal ball in front of them saying that both of them are going to get world titles? I don't understand that logic. Like, your career isn't over if you lose a domestic fight. I always refer back to James DeGale, George Groves. I mean, those guys fought because there was beef. They were both chatting a lot of that. And okay, let's set it. Let's fight. They had a fight. It was very close. Both of them went on to win world titles. Both of them went on to have very successful careers. It didn't derail either. So I don't know why you just don't do Dalton Smith versus Adam Azim now. I don't get it. Adam Azim always talks about Dalton Smith. I had Dalton Smith in the studio with me on Thursday or Friday for TalkSport. He spoke about Adam Azim. Let's get it on. Let these two guys fight. So, look, hopefully they can do that. I don't think they will. I don't think they will. Like, Adam had the European. He vacated. Dalton fought for the European. So I don't know who's avoiding who. Fighters will fight each other. I just sometimes feel like promoters, managers, people behind the scenes, could be broadcasters, are blocking this fight from happening. But fighters will always get in the ring and fight. All right, let's have a look and see if there is anything else to talk about, people. Okay, I've not seen this fight. I haven't watched the Stephen Fulton fight. I didn't watch it. But he beat Brandon Figueroa. Good. I almost feel like Stephen Fulton's been disrespected a little bit because of that Inoue defeat. People want to see, the best go against the best, unbeaten go against unbeaten, fighters traveling. All of a sudden, he got beat by Inoue and he seems to have been forgotten a little bit. Good win for him. Isaac Cruz won as well. Again, we'll talk about these throughout the week, or maybe even talk about them with G-Man. Clarissa Shields fighting Daniel Perkins tonight. Don't mind a bit of Sunday night boxing. Less I speak about it, the better. Still not. I don't think they know what they're doing with Clarissa, if I'm honest with you. Dimitri Salita is a good promoter. I kind of stalled on that because you ask Otto Volin and Gerard Miller, they won't say that. But I think he's a good promoter. But he needs to do something. Honestly, he needs to do something because, nothing's happening, right? All right, anything else? No. Anthony Kakache has vacated his IBF junior lightweight title. Belt. Remember, that's the belt that he won, beating Joe Cordina. What a performance that was, by the way. Anthony Kakache will fight Lee Wood, and it will be on a Queensbury show. That's the rumor. That's what I'm hearing. It's a big ask for Lee. It's a big ask. You've not fought for over a year. You're fighting Kakache, who has been fighting 2 good wins against Joe Cordina and against Josh Warrington. Josh looked undersized. Lee's a bit bigger than Josh, but Lee's going to be undersized as well. And Kakache can crack. Lee can crack, but in Lee's fights, they've been Rocky fucking movies, haven't they? You hit him, he hits you. You hit him, he hits you. I don't know if he can get hit by Kakache and hit back. That's the thing. That's my only issue. But look, it'll be a good fight, and good luck to both of them. I like both guys, man. I think both guys are great for the sport and have been great for the sport. We'll end on this one. Bilal Fawaz held to controversial draw against Junaid Boston. I knew this fight was going to be tough for Boston because I've known about Fawaz for years. Like, Fawaz has always been a talent, but he just had problems with immigration and couldn't turn pro. That was his only issue. And now he's a veteran. It doesn't mean he's deteriorated. He's very good. And he could have been a lot better than what we saw on Friday. I thought he won the fight. I thought it was very close, but I thought he won the fight. Junaid Boston's asking for the rematch in Sheffield. Fawaz will take it. Fawaz will take that fight. It was a great opportunity for him to showcase what he's got. And if you know Fawaz's story, Fawaz has been hardened by life. So that was never going to be easy for Junaid Boston. I still think Junaid's a talent. I still think Junaid's going to go on to do good things. Sometimes you have these fights coming up. Sometimes you have these fights coming up where someone you don't expect to test you. It makes you go back and not rewrite what you need to do in terms of how you box and how you live your life, but it makes you think, okay, it's going to be tough climbing the ladder. Because I think Junaid's already got his sights set on world level fighters. Get rid of the English and British level guys first. Show them respect, and then we see what you can do. All right, guys, girls, we are done. Thank you again for all the feedback regarding the G-Man podcast. I can't wait for you to see. I can't wait for you to see what I've got planned next. Honestly, we got some big ideas. Green Chair Productions is up and running.